How did you like Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen movie?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so much fun, and it was great. You know, if you have an interest in museums and artists,
Right.
You're hearing
Seeing
about
all those artists.
the artists and also novelists.
And it spoofed them, right? Hemingway?
Sort of,
Right.
but it was sort of meant to be true to form to the artists. And I have a friend who's not into art, but he loved, the Coleman music. So
That's why I want to ask Arnie. What was your opinion of Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris film?
It was okay. To me, it wasn't great. It's not what I liked with Woody Allen. I like Woody Allen's comedy like you had in Sleeper. And
So wasn't the science fiction aspect? Because in Sleeper he goes back in time as well.
Yeah, but some of the punchlines in Sleeper were fantastic. You didn't have those type of punchlines. Maybe one or two in this one.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you.
You know it?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you could go back to any era at all,
oh my
the 20s, the 30s, the 1600 cave times, your own youth, what would you choose?
Oh, if I could go back and do
To
it over.
any time.
Oh, I would love to go back to high school and do it over better than I did.
Okay.
Because I feel I didn't do high school very well, and I'd like another shot at that.
He turns into a Rebbe, right? He turns into a Rebbe.
And that's what, and Selig is the same.
Like I say,
It worked. Now try to get the cork out.
I don't know, I think it does slide out.
You're making me nervous with those photographs.
Well, you know, if something freaky happens, I'm going to make a fortune and send it to America's Funniest Videos. Eject. Okay, the question is, if you could choose any time to go and travel back to, cave times, your high school days, anytime, anything, what era, what time would you choose?
Maybe turn of the century New York.
And why would you do that?
I like, time of big change and, industry and, big things happening. Very exciting time, I imagine. I like the architecture from that period.
Oh, wow.
Wardrobe, all that.
Great. The problem. You can't think. You have to just tell me right now. If you could travel in time anywhere, what's your first, the whole idea is, what's your first thought? Where would you like to go? What time? Your own time, prehistoric times, Civil War, World War I?
I gotta tell you, I'm not sure.
The beginning of baseball?
Nothing's jumping out at me.
No one particular, any particular day in history of like when the first rap song was made, or the atom bomb was dropped, or
No, I would probably like to go back. I'd like to go back and see Alexander the Great, or one of the great conquerors.
wow.
Just to see what it was like more at the formation of some of the great societies and civilizations. Maybe Genghis Khan, maybe an Alexander the Great.
Wow.
Just to see what their difference between society then and society now, and some of the aspirations that they might have had.
That's cool. Nobody's come up with that. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
But whenever you're ready, you'll tell me. Not yet.
It's just an audio, right?
Right.
Thank you. Not a picture, though, too. It's not a grandparents.
Wow.
See what it was like back then
Wow.
in Europe.
Wait.
I think they were from Austria or Russia. I always got different answers whenever I asked my parents, but
Wow.
that's what I'd like to do. See where I came from.
That's a very personal choice to see, to examine your roots.
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's really nice. Okay. Thank you. What era would you like to go back to, if you
I would
could?
like to revisit the 1960s when I was just a little boy. The times I used to have with my family, my older
You
brother.
want to go back in your own life?
In my own life, nothing changed. Just go back there, revisit some of the things that we did, some of the events. Like we went to, we used to go and see the games. We used to pass by the polo grounds because we lived in the Watch of the Night. We used to walk to the games. So some we would go over to Yankee Stadium. It just revisited that atmosphere that existed back then because it just seemed like everything was more golden.
That's very nice.
You know, and there was a lot of things that were different. You know, a lot of things are the same, but a lot of things were entirely different.
What is your name?
My name is Betty.
Betty, where would you like to travel to
I would like
of any era that you could?
go to, I think it was Vienna, but it might be some other city. Where Franz Josef Haydn.
That's what the person that told me to ask you said you would say. You love Haydn.
I
You're a
love
Haydn
Haydn,
fan.
and I want to be where I could sing some of his music and tell him how important his music is to me.
Wow.
But I can think of many other composers I would love to do that for. But
Well-
he'd be number one. Bach would be the other one.
Bach. That's also what I was. That's
But it's sort
interesting.
of Baroque. It's 17th, 18th century.
Baroque.
Okay? That's it.
Robin Rosen, if you could travel back in time to any era that you want, where would you go?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It would be about 35 years ago when I gave birth to my son. I remember lying in bed with my husband and my son and thinking that was the happiest time of my life, that I couldn't be happier than I was at that particular moment. And that just brought so many good things, brought my family together. It was just wonderful. So that's for me, is the most important time.
Very, very nice. Thank you.
I would love more moments like that.
If I could time travel to any era, past or present, I would want to go to the future every 5 years for about 10 minutes just to see what technology is like, what people are like, what the cultures are like. I guess mostly in the US because that's what I know now. And that's what I would do. I'd want to just see what things become in the future.